Preseason just wrapped up, little banged up, but I like where the guys are as far as the effort and the energy that they gave us throughout camp. We have a lot of bright spots, and I think a lot to build on. And I'm looking forward to the season.
What do you know about Austin Peay?
I think they're really, I believe, a splitting image of ourselves. It's like looking in the mirror. New staff, had about the same record last year. I think both of us want to run the football. They're very talented in the back end. They're very talented in the back end, and I think it's going to be a physical football game.
How you feel that you get your first camp out of the way as a head coach?
Well, camp, like I said, we had a great camp, and a lot of hours, a lot of time we put in, a lot of energy. But again, the guys, you're a little banged up, so we gave them a couple days off. And camp is camp. It's a grind, but the guys made it through it, and I love the attitudes, and I like where we are right now as a team.
You keep saying the guys made it through it, but you made it through it, obviously. How was your mindset for the first camp? Did you learn something about yourself as a coach and how to manage stuff with your staff, or how to do time management? Did you kind of come away from camp thinking, okay, I could have done this better, could have done this differently?
Well, I think, being this is my 21st year coaching, it's pretty much standard, the way you do things, the way you operate. So it's not like you're reinventing the wheel again. A couple things change here and there, but for the most part, it's status quo. So, it's nothing I don't think that we're going to adjust too much going in, next year. But, like I said, after 21 years, it's pretty much all the same.
What's been the major point of emphasis preparing for Austin Peay?
Preparing for Austin Peay. We've been preaching to our guys. It's about us. It's not about Austin Peay. They're a new staff. A lot of new faces they have that that we're gonna be coming out on the field. So we just have to be disciplined, take care of the football, and just don't beat ourselves.
As your first year on campus, you started to put in your packages as far as offense and defense. How close are you to installing your full playbook, and are there any benchmarks that you have personally as a coach to say, like, okay, I want my team here by August 27th or whatever?
Right. Well, we for the most part put out just about a whole playbook in the spring, and we reinstall it again during camp. So everything's in. We won't run everything the first game. We'll pick some things that that we think that we can do and execute on both sides of the ball. And then from there, weekly, we'll, add to our game plan. But for the most part, everything, has been in. And it's just about, trimming it down to make sure our guys are confident in what they're doing, they're comfortable. And so we'll play fast.
Biggest challenge is this game week starting on a Thursday. I know you guys are leaving on the road early next week. Any issues, challenges with having to readjust your schedule? Not readjust your schedule because you haven't set a schedule yet. It's your first game of the season. Any challenges of not playing on a Saturday and having to travel and kind of?
Well, yeah, the schedule's been set, definitely. Yeah. And that's one thing when you play on a Thursday, everything moves back 2 days. So I had to constantly look at my calendar to make sure that what day is what as far as preparation. But we will be leaving Tuesday, and it's just a regular road game for us. No big thing, big deal, and we'll be leaving Tuesday. We'll relax and have a couple little team building opportunities. Functions on Wednesday, and kick things off on Thursday. We have a special group of young men, and I think they've really bought into what we were trying to, our culture and our vision. And, I'm pleased with the guys' attitudes and work ethic. And if you have a good attitude and you put forth the effort, I think you'll be successful. And like I said, we have a great group of guys. I can't speak highly enough about them, and I like what we are as a team and as a program.
He didn't play at all last year. He started in 2017. We didn't see him last year. What did he kind of do to kind of come back and win the job in the spring and in the fall camp?
Well, Chauncey was down in the spring, so Micah got a bunch of the reps, and Chauncey got a lot of reps off the field, watching film in the meeting room and things like that. But I think that probably gave Micah a leg up on him as far as the race was concerned. But coming into fall camp, it was a great battle. And I think both of those guys are obviously both of them, are capable of being the starting quarterbacks because Mike will be starting on Thursday, and Chauncey started all last year, until he got hurt. But when you have a battle like that, walking away from that and looking at it, when you have two quarterbacks with that much talent, I'm really happy where we are. And we'll, reevaluate that position like every other position week in and week out. So, that's not written in stone. Those guys will continue to battle, and I'm sure Chauncey probably played Thursday as well. But once you're a football player and that's that's what you do, I think a lot of times it's about opportunity. And once you get the opportunity, it's about what you do with it. And during the spring, with all the reps that he got and coming into fall camp, both of the guys had the opportunity, and Micah made the most of it. Well, we love to play at home, in the nest. And, that means a lot to our players, being at home and everything. But, ball is ball. We're going to play wherever we have to go. And, we didn't make the schedule, and that's how I fell out. So we'll be fine with it. We don't mind traveling. We know Eagle Nation will be behind us wherever we go. And we're looking forward to it. Our guys just ready to play.
What are you looking to see and get out of your guys from the first game coming out bad? Are you trying to hit him, punch him in the mouth, hit him swinging, or are you just, kind of want them to fill things out?
Well, it's going to be a dogfight. And there are those, I'm sure, Austin Peay's thinking the same thing. We're going to put our left foot forward and we're going to start swinging. We're not going to back down. We're not going to flinch. So I'm sure it'll be a good physical game. And the biggest thing for us is we don't want self-inflicted negatives. We call them sins. So we don't want to beat ourselves in certain areas. So we have to be disciplined, but take care of the football and be disciplined and win the kicking game. Brandon Bailey. Yeah, he won't be traveling this first game. Yes.
You guys are pretty deep at the running back position, but I know you guys have two quarterbacks that kind of are dual threat. How much are the quarterbacks going to factor into the run game?
Oh, no, that's why we have all these running backs on scholarship, That was one of the first things I said when I got here and took the job. I thought our quarterbacks ran a little bit too much last year. So, we have a stable of running backs, and we're going to get in the ball and let them work. Quarterbacks, we want them to manage the football game.
Chauncey probably will play Thursday along with Michael. Do you have set them a play set or a script? Or you going to go with the high hand or the feel of the game once the game gets going?
It'll probably more so the feel of the game, and that'll be Coach Ware's decision. He's coordinating the offense, and that'll be his decision to make.
Some of these freshmen beat out guys who've been here for a couple of years too. I imagine that's the kind of competition you wanted through fall camp.
Yes, I told you we are very talented. We're young, but our freshmen are a talented group, and we just hope they can grow up fast. This is a lot different from high school, so we'll see how they perform in the fire. But I like the freshman class that we brought in.
Have you already started working on your first pregame speech before you guys run out the tunnel next Thursday, or is it gonna be all heart and emotion off the top of your head?
Oh no, that's gonna be all off the top of my head. Justin, had an outstanding camp, and in the back end there were a lot of guys that were battling for positions, and we think we have several guys that can play, and fill in certain spots back there. But I was really pleased with what he did, brought to the defense a lot, as far as leadership, and he's like another coach on the field.
Because you played in the secondary, are you a little bit harder on those guys? You kind of watch them a little bit more in practice?
Oh yeah. That was the group when I got here that had the target on them, and they were like, "Coach, will you just please leave us alone?" But I used to stay over there during Indy and everything else, and I thought we were a very talented group. We just had to clean up some things as far as I said discipline, one, and being more consistent as well. And that's one thing in the back end. You can play 60 snaps, outstanding, and then, two bad ones, you're giving them touchdowns. So you have to be disciplined in that back end.
Isaiah, pretty fresh. I know in the spring you said you kind of set him because you already know what he can do. But did he get the full workload this fall? We got some rest days during camp.
Well, he has some work days. I mean, he has to come to work, and he has to improve like everybody else. But, it was some other younger guys behind him that we had an opportunity to get those guys reps to see what they could do. Latrell Collier, we call him Mookie. Mookie's had a really good camp, and he'll bring depth to that position as well. So, like I said, we have a bunch of guys back there that, can take some of the workload off of Titan now.
Ricky Lee, offensive lineman, is joining us today. Can you just talk about what you've seen out of him so far?
First of all, his body is developed. He's looking like a grown man now. And, Ricky's one of those guys, he's a program guy. And when I first got here, we sat down and talked about the vision of the program, And I talked to him about his concerns and what, he thought that we need to do and change, to get this program on the right track. So it's a blessing to have him here with us. I think he's one of the leaders of the offensive line. He works really hard day in and day out. And, Coach Teasley's done an outstanding job with him as far as developing him and, helping him with his technique and fundamentals. But great guy to have on team, great young man, great family. I can't say enough about him.
He was one of those guys last year where you talk about you've got some freshmen that are on the depth chart and are going to see some time. As a true freshman, he came in and earned a starting role on the team. Have you seen him maybe take some of the other younger guys under his wing and tell him what that's like?
Oh, definitely. He's like the old man down there now. He and Andrew Dale. We have so many young offensive linemen that came in. I think we have about 9 or 10 of them, freshmen. And, he's really taken them under his wing. And a couple of those guys, going through camp, it got rough on those freshmen. But, when I think when you have leaders across the board, they, can take them under their wing and show them the ropes. It'll help, settle those young guys down. But, again, outstanding young man, and we're expecting big things out of him this season.
Coach said preseason camp was a little grueling. So what was your perspective on camp?
First, it was hot. It was very hot. It was something that I was expecting from last year. I mean, the extreme weather. I mean, it's something you get used to after a while. But, we found a way to manage. Camp, it was very fun. With new guys coming in, like Coach always said, help is on the way. So it was like, we had, more players coming to help, help us out, the veterans. And so, it was a fun camp.
And Coach talked about some of the young guys, and they're going to see some time. What was that like for you as a freshman coming in last year? You were one of those guys that was thrown into the fire and ended up in a starting role.
Yeah, getting recruited, they always say, you come in and start as a freshman. And so that kind of blew over my head. But when I finally got here and I actually started as a freshman, I was like, whoa. So it was bombarding. And so, you got to grow up, be a man, and actually take that position and, fill the shoes of those that were here before you.
And have you had those conversations with some of the freshmen to kind of give them an idea of what it's like and what to expect?
Even before camp started, I told them, it's going to be hot. You're going to get tired. You're going to be fatigued. There's going to be some injuries. You're going to get hurt. But at the end of the day, you got to push through that. And that's what football is all about.
You're teaching them resilience. So how do you feel that they'll respond to the challenge?
That's one thing I'm excited about as far as playing our first game against Austin Peay. I really want to see how the guys, how we bond together because it's camp. It's always been offense versus defense so far. So our first game, it's time for us, to bond together and see how we come together as a team.
How much this offseason have you studied the playbook to make sure that you're effective every play so that way you don't miss assignments?
Every day, man. Every day. Before and after practice. Coach Teasley have us in here, man. And it's like, oh, we got to go over this, got to go over that. And it's like, even the little things, man, the technique, your assignment, and just the little things, all that matter.
Did you play right tackle last year?
Yes, I did.
What's the biggest difference switching over to left, like the most important position on the line? Well, it's probably behind center, like the second most, maybe the most important.
Yeah, the biggest thing is the blind side because, our quarterback is right-handed, so he can't see from that side. So you got to take that position a little bit more serious because now if you give up a sack, it's going to look bad. So in that position, you really got to be on your P's and Q's.
You learned a lot from watching Nick do it last year. He was a 3-time All-Conference guy.
Yes, sir.
Held that side down since he's a freshman. Did you learn a lot from him last year?
Yes, sir. I did. That was like my big brother, man. He really showed me the way. That's really somebody I look up to and somebody I really just want to be like. Being with my brothers every day. Having that chemistry, building that bond, and waking up and those boys, waking up and be like, you know what, we can do this together. We do everything together. So it's really a brotherhood.
Andrew is really like the old man on the line, but since you started as a freshman, you kind of like next in command. What did you guys kind of do this summer to bond as a unit and kind of get closer?
We pretty much did everything together. We would have, little walkthroughs we would have on the field. We'll just go over, little technique stuff, going out places, events, just doing everything together and just building that chemistry.
You guys still do the China buffet as the offensive line?
We haven't lately, but that is something we need to do. It's not even just one guy, man. It's really Jesse Urbina, Robert Mitchell. Those guys really came in and, filled the shoes, and we really needed those guys for those certain positions.
You all have one home game in the first 6 weeks of the season. So that challenge of going on the road week in and week out, like, how have you and your teammates bought into that road warrior mentality?
It's not even focusing on, going to travel right now. It's pretty much more about us focusing on us. We take it one day at a time, and we just focus on the little things day by day. And when that time comes to play, we'll be ready.
You and Mike have like a special bond because he's your quarterback, you're his left tackle.
Of course.
Does he kind of pull you aside more so than anybody else?
No, not really. Well, I'll say as far as leadership-wise, get your offensive line together. But as a whole, he pretty much lifts us all up.
You still especially need to protect him just a little bit more for y'all at the same time.
Yes, sir.
I have a fun question for you. I know always whenever there's a touchdown scored, there's one of the linemen picking somebody up in the end zone. How do you decide who's picking the person up?
Oh, man, it's just emotions, man. It pretty much just goes off a look in the eye and say, hey, let's do it. And so that's what it really comes down to.
Have you got a ball spike yet?
A ball spike? Yeah.
What are you most excited about playing against Austin Peay this weekend or this Thursday season?
It's our first game. That's what I'm excited about. I want to see how we come together as a team. I want to see what Austin Peay has to offer as well as their program. And I know they're in the similar situation as we are in as far as having a new coaching staff. So I really just want to see how both of these teams come together. I pretty much just wanted to perfect my craft and lead by example because I'm not a person of many words. So with me having my work ethic and really just, taking my technique and everything seriously, I know that the guys behind me will see, oh, he's taking his work seriously, he's doing this right. Now I want to do that. So all those things will correlate onto the field. And so, yeah, I'm just ready.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.